Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to HGC Korea, our last best of 5 of the weekend here in week 6 of phase 1. My name is Wolf. With me is GLuck. That didn't change since a little 15-minute break you guys had. Going into GLuck versus KSV Black. We'll see if GLuck can do what Ace did in the previous series and make the series a little bit more interesting than we expected.
I think they have prepared a lot, and from what we have seen from the previous match that they played, they have certainly upgraded, and they have been working a lot in the macro, which was one of the weakest link in the team. The Serum really making safe routes. His solo laning has been a lot better from what we saw, but they will be put to another test. They're up against a lot stronger team this time, so let's see if that kind of upgrade will be seen again tonight, or maybe they'll be going back when they start to lose everything apart.
Will Relic the healing fountains is another question that we have.
Will they even get their Genji?
Yeah, that's a big question because they've been running the Genji almost every game, and to some extent it's been pretty good because Relic's just a fantastic Genji player, but KSV Black has figured out how to draft around that. They were prioritizing the Hanzo. The Hanzo has been picked against the Tracer many times by them, so I think they're going to have to adjust. They're going to have to move away from the Genji at some point because they're really good at it, but everyone else is moving away from it because the Genji's win rate is plummeting.
Yeah, that's also KSV. If we talk about the other side, they have been playing few double supports, and even sometimes they have been dealing with the Tastar with the double support. It worked against Miracle, but it was not the most clean game that they had played. It was actually a very good game against each other. It was a long game. I feel like if they actually did not pick double support, maybe put in another DPS, a strong lane, a roaming hero, that they could have dominated against Miracle a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Overlord gets to play today, because we've been seeing a lot of Junkrat from this team. Not a single game of Junkrat in our first series. Obviously needs to be a better map for Junkrat than we saw over the last few maps. We had the larger maps, the Cursed Hall, Towers of Doom, and then Sky Temple. No Infernal Shrines where Junkrat really shines. So let's see how this team adapts. As you can see, Relic, the man on the forefront of your camera shot, and Overlord, the two DPSs for the team that have been running the Genji, the Junkrat, to great success against some of the weaker teams, and to middling success against the big three even, having some flashy plays. Relic will impress on the Genji if he's given the opportunity to play it.
They were playing lots of the comp that were basically sustained most of the time, but against a team that could provide the burst and an amazing focusing damage, which would be KSV Black, they may have some problems against it. Maybe it's their own time to bring that mid pick. Let's see if KSV Black is willing to let that happen.
The role swaps of Saki onto support, Rich onto ranged DPS have been so successful for this team so far. Reset can play double support, which is something KSV Black has shown us already. They can also play a more well-rounded set of heroes. They can run the Hanzo and the Genji together if that becomes an opportunity in draft like we saw in our previous series. But KSV Black, you know, I feel like there is going to be that continual priority of Hanzo over the Genji in draft for them, as well as the priority of Malfurion over Uther in all scenarios. I think we're going to see a lot of first pick or first rotation pick of the Malfurion. KSV Black doesn't get to play a lot of first pick games in Korea, given their track record and their wins. They pick a lot of maps, as it turns out. Rich sitting low in the chair, man. He's ready for an easy match of Heroes of the Storm tonight. We'll see if he gets what he's looking for.
Usually Maiev never comes through, and the first pick has been Genji, Hanzo, Genji. And of course, lots of times paired up with Sonya, and even Junkrat when they get the chance. So there's that overlap with what GLuck loves to do.
Oh, Blue Beetle, man. He's usually the cool story Bob. And then like next thing you know, he's going Resident Sleeper.
Okay.
All right, we're going to BOE. Actually, surprisingly, will be the map pick of KSV Black, or sorry, excuse me, of GLuck. I like the Dragonshire ban from them as well. So just removing that really strong macro map away from KSV Black. KSV Black will ban Braxis. So not a huge surprise. Well, this has been KSV Black's most dominant map, in my opinion, throughout all of 2018.
In 2017 too. 2016
2016 it was really their map. 2017 it was like pretty much their map. Like, it was still pretty good for them. But let's see what they prioritize in draft, because this is the Hanzo map, if there is to be a Hanzo map.
Yes, last time they started out by banning Maiev, which they will also do the same.
100%.
We wait for the players.
Actually,
Not this time. Okay, 100% is broken. Always 99%. There's a chance of not happening, but pretty sure Hanzo will be grabbed ASAP.
I mean, given this is the 4th game they played this week and they banned it 3 times, it's actually 75%
1.
left. That's
Oh!
basic math.
Not gonna happen today.
Alfurion coming in. This is GLuck's chance to just Uther Genji. They're never going to get another one. It's now or never. Map pick versus first bandmate to get the double rotation. If they want that Uther Genji, this is probably gonna be the last chance they're ever going to get. And it is Relic again going to make that decision. Grabs the Genji, but not with the Uther. Moving away from that right now. Prioritizing the ETC, but Hanzo for Rich insta-picked. KSV Black said, whoa, 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 we didn't decide. He's like, no, I just had to lock it in. So they've got 50 seconds to choose their second hero here.
Well, I thought you were going to pick Hanzo for me last game, but it was Malfurion last thing. And Sake has been picking Malfurion so much more over Uther. So this means basically an easy Uther ban from KSV Black. GLuck can try to target the tank line. Garrosh seems like a nice one, since they picked up ETC already.
In their last series against Miracle, they picked Sonya, ETC, and Hanzo, 2 of the 3 games. Both of those, of course, were second pick. This is a first pick rotation. They don't get the ETC, but everything else is the same as you say. Medivh highlighted here. Certainly a draft with Sonya that Medivh can get a lot of value in, but I don't feel it's the battleground to put that ban into place. Not a bad ban by any means, but I don't feel like it's as strong of a ban as going ahead and trying to ban out, for example, a Nubrock or a Garrosh, 2 strong heroes for the composition that KSV Black certainly can run.
I think this really hints what GLuck is trying to do. I think possibly even leaving Uther open, and target banning a mage is not actually a bad idea. Seems like GLuck is trying to build their own burst against that Malfurion. That's why they banned that Medivh.
Yeah, Uther feels like the obvious ban, but I think Li Ming might actually be the better ban.
Yes.
Because you have ETC.
Exactly.
You have the ability to burst down these targets to get caught. Zeratul is also reasonable, but I don't think it suits the comp as well as a Li Ming. I think that both of these teams in the second ban phase have taken Medivh and Zeratul away because of their fear of the potential of the hero in this meta right now versus what its synergy is in the team compositions. So I think you're pretty on the money about grabbing a mage here. The only other possibility of a standard second DPS is Tychus, but if you're going to do that, you're going to save him for 5th pick because they could just counterpick Johanna into you, for example, or Cassia is also available. I think picking the Tychus this early would be a mistake. If they're going down the mage route, they could certainly show it here. Li Ming, best option. Gul'dan, not so much. Slower damage. There's the Uther. And it will be Malthael to Soul Lane, saving the second DPS, forcing KSV Black to pick a main tank before. If they pick the Anubrock, they move away from the mage. They pick the Johanna, they move towards it. There's a lot of different ways to use that 5th pick DPS here for GLuck. I like how patient they're being in this draft.
That is why we have just on the camera. And they actually steal that Li Ming away.
Li Ming, Garrosh.
To counter that ETC, also Garrosh.
Kind of a disjointed draft for KSV Black, though. It's a strong denial pick, but I think it also shows that Tist not comfortable right now playing, for example, the Anubrock. That would be very strong against the Li Ming. The mage they grab, mage, quote-unquote, is the Junkrat. Not really a mage, but that slow poke damage. The poke is really what it's all about here. It's not going to be burst, It is going to be a little bit more reliable way to get damage done in the stalemates in the Immortal phases. The Li Ming is an interesting pick because it doesn't allow you much defensive capability against the Genji. But now that the Junkrat's there, it's not as big of a problem. And Li Ming is going to be more consistent poke with these two compositions than the Junkrat in most cases. Junkrat does have burst, don't get me wrong. His Riptire is the definition of burst. But pre-10, I feel like Immortal phases should theoretically go to KSV Black, Garrosh for Tist. Now that he's got his gum out of his mouth, man, it could be a little bit more difficult to deal with in the early game. When we get some of those stacks. He's got the gum out. He's serious.
Perfect logic there as KSV has Hanzo and Li Ming. There's so much poking, so much more poking potential compared to Junkrat. Junkrat, of course, can make some crazy saves. The mine can actually get Garrosh towards your side, so you can actually pick up that kill if you get that chance to do so. It's not going to be easy because most of the team will be away. They'll be poking from a far away range.
Genji headed top. Looking for that healing fountain, you have to imagine. They're going to poke here first.
Kyoja's already on it.
Yeah.
Kyoja knows.
Watch the spear. Okay, he checks first. Okay, that's smart. I thought he was just going to simply start tossing in. Kyoja's is blocking it for the most part. So Relic is just all about this healing fountain sabotage. It's going to cost them a lot in the bottom lane, but Reset's going to be doing the same thing. Would you like a taste of your own medicine? He gets the healing well, by the way. Just waiting for his Q. Gets vision. Boom. Successful. Reset's going to die. Big win here for GLuck.
And they get their fountain on the top.
We're witnessing like this revolutionary new early game shenaniganry. Remember when Li Ming used to do this so much easier? They added a shield. And now she's just like, well, I'm going to try it anyways. Shield helps survive. Concussive Mine for Overlord means first blood for GLuck, and they will very likely... Look at the ping. Oh, Sonya's like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, I can't stop him. He's heading down, but so is Malthael. This is going to be a great trade. I feel like this is going to be fantastic for GLuck. He's easily going to get away. And if Kocha wanted to fight, they would have gotten a kill. This is what they gain, what KSV Black gains from this relicking of the healing fountain, but, you know, it's not as significant as 2 fountains down right now, you have to argue. If they could make the first Immortal phase competitive, force KSV Black to use it. Because last time we saw this attempted, the team that lost their healing fountains didn't have to use them, so it didn't matter in that case.
It worked for a few minutes only, and then they lost Immortals after Immortals. The first one and the second one.
Rich is going to grab this. They still have the neutral one mid, though, which is the most important one for the objective.
And by the way, that's not how you win game, guys. You have to actually push the fort, the keep, and to the core. This is just the cheesy strat that they do oftentimes, especially with Genji.
Tis looking for a setup to punish Saron's aggressive positioning. Just going to commit in. But this is Malthael we're talking about, and he's going to eat a lot of damage and ends up wasting the rotation. So obviously the healing fountain to the lane is more important than the healing fountain to the multi-lane, and the 3-man down here is more important than the solo, or in this case 2-man, because obviously you get more value out of it. But KSV Black wins this lane as a result, loses top wall, but this is going to be the first important moment in this game as how the Immortal phase goes. KSV Black sees missing heroes, is going to invade this. Kocha is still in the top lane grabbing Soak. Otherwise, this is a 4-man invade. Saron taking a ton of damage, has nothing to heal up on right now. They retreat, they leave it alone. This is a huge win for GLuck, but again, they need to find damage here to get value from that healing fountain kill.
They get ETC super low. Milky Way might not survive. Hanzo actually misses his shots.
Oh, Overlord blocking the Li Ming missiles at least. But right now, GLuck are the ones that find themselves needing a healing fountain. They don't have the bottom one, they have the mid one. Milky Way not even having time to use it. He has to Hearth home. KSV Black fully health. They don't need to use that mid healing fountain that was stolen from them. Not at all.
They have the sustain. They have Sake. Now we're getting Overlord thrown, and that's the first kill. Second kill going to KSV now.
They crushed the Immortal phase as well. So,
Again, GLuck spends all the time and resource to get those fountains, but never really getting much value out of it.
Milky Way is dead, by the way, like 110%. That was very aggressive. I know he's a great ETC and all, but there are limits, GLuck.
Yes, there are limits to what you can do. And even... I don't exactly know what he was thinking. There are lots of some CCs. And even with a Garrosh, you can't really escape too well.
I mean, they lost basically the neutral camp bottom for the fountain trade top. Like, that was the commitment. Like, Genji wasn't there, so they lost the camp, but they didn't lose that much otherwise. It's just the KSV Black doesn't care that they lost the fountain. And I don't want to say it's bad, and against teams where the game was more competitive, it could make a huge difference. They even got the kill onto Reset when he tried to do the same, but KSV Black just wins the team fights, gets picks, and this Li Ming pick is doing fantastic for them. We're seeing so many body blocks to save the squishies in the back line. Just almost gets a throw there.
To get the fort and more. As Sonya is also winning the duel at the bottom lane. Marteo's joining up on top now. Overload almost dies to that Sonic arrow.
Yeah.
It happens, but it's super hard to get that hit.
Malthael needs to realize they're coming down. Okay, Saren does see. That was scary for a second, as we see the swap back to this fort. It's the focal point for KSV Black to get both forts to get 10 for the next Immortal phase. KSV Black has such a systematic approach to this map where they look for structural leads, picks, and experience leads leading into the first Immortal. Sometimes they get the 7 advantage, doesn't always happen, but they almost always in every game they play have 10 first. And they just win 2 Immortal phases and win the game. And that will happen against star teams. This will happen against the best of Europe. That will happen against the big 3 in Korea. They are so fantastic at this map with just winning the objective, getting 10 first, never losing one. Rich is being focused down here. Relic showing his skills on the Genji is going to get that pick. Very rare in this meta to have a Genji kill a Hanzo like that, especially down a level like this. He's looking for more. He's on Reset. Saren's coming in. This could actually be a double kill. Reset has to jump. Gets the heal. Malthael did not commit in Saron. If he had gotten a jump there, that would have been a kill for sure. But even still, KSV Black gets the extra soak from Kocha here in the top lane. They're going to get this cap. They're going to get 10 right before the Immortal phase. Relic is, I think, by far the best member of this team, though. Like, his understanding of what Genji's damage is, his ability to eliminate healing wells, harass.
Eliminate healing wells? Yes.
I mean, he understands the hero in and out. He's also checking vision with it constantly, no matter what, with his shurikens. I'm always consistently impressed by him on this roster.
Even with that kill, still a full level lead, Black can manage to steal anything, steal the camp, also just take that Immortal right after. They're not even considering doing that. They're just going for that Immortal damage. Because they have Hanzo, they can just clear that camp when it comes. It's going to be an easy drill for Hanzo.
Yeah. I mean, also Hanzo, you know, being killed was significant only for a moment, but they didn't capitalize on it. He's respawned. The 10, as you say, is up. Right now, you can see in the top lane, Saron's trying to soak for 10. Okay, it's up. Considering the last rights here against the Garrosh pick, I think it's a phenomenal pick given the composition. Even though they have Divine Shield, he's going to look for the M&M lock-in. Here we go. Meanwhile, though,
there's no power slide.
Mosh, though, just no follow-up damage. Saron very low, locks in last rights. No one he can kill with it, though. Relic barely survives, gets the Uther Heal. Saron survives. Here comes the Riptire, but he's stunned. Can't get that kill with the Riptire and the last rights. They wanted to blow up Tist. KSV Black gets the wipe. They get the fully shielded Immortal. This is Siege Camp and Shaman Camp up here. And KSV Black is looking to potentially end the game with this push, man. That's what they do. They will win games with 2 Immortals. With the full shields, this Immortal is going to use ranged attacks all the way until his keep wall is down. Not enough damage on the side of GLuck. All they have for poke is Junkrat to eliminate the shield. So this is going to be doing range attacks on the keep. And if anyone gets picked, by fantastic play we've been seeing out of Reset in particular, in my opinion, this game, then it's over. They need to burn this Immortal down as quickly as possible. They just don't have a lot of tools. Milky Way's coming in. They want to fight on the Immortal.
They're going in, lack of CC though. Alex trying to find the kill onto Hanzo, but the save.
Divine Shield has to be used. They don't have Dragon Blade. This is a big problem. Milky
Everything
Way.
else is down. No Mosh Pit, no Riptire, and they're so low. Gets thrown. Milky Way will be killed. That's a reset for Reset again. Going in, almost a kill onto Junkrat also.
Okay, the root was good there. They get the cleanse, but it just doesn't matter. There's another kill here with Hanzo sniped, as you say. Rich doing so much damage to Relic when he dove in, forcing that Divine Shield meant that he couldn't turn the fight when he had his Dragon Blade. When he gets his Dragon Blade in 10 seconds, the rest of the fight's already over, and it comes to that fully shielded Immortal.
Where is Blue Beetle going? They're lost. They are lost. I don't think they can come back in this game. There's no way. They have lost this game just from the second Immortal. So every time they tried that TG strategy, it becomes the exact same game. Is it really all worth it though?
I don't know. I feel like it's worth it. Like in this game, remember, they got both healing fountains and killed Reset when he felt pressured to do the same. They were massively ahead from that moment. Well, they need to just fight better on the Immortal. I don't want to blame this game on Relic killing 2 healing fountains. I can't do that. I can't say that that was the reason why they lost. I can't say, though, going back to your point, I can't say it made a difference, though. And that's because no one was ever taking damage on the other side. It would make a difference with this comp. They have good poke with Junkrat. There's a lot of things they could do to force healing fountains to be used with Junkrat's ranged poke. But they were getting wiped before Immortal phases started. They were up against a Hanzo comp on this map, which is like, lol, like, what are you going to do? So they got totally crushed. Relic couldn't do much with his Dragon Blades. 10 came up first. You have a fully shielded Immortal with a comp that has both Li Ming and Hanzo. It means you have so much poke, you have so much siege. The Immortal is going to be doing range attacks. So in order for them to get in there to stop the Immortal, we had to see Milky Way come in there and try to get some power slide value. They had to dive. They had to commit under the Immortal, because otherwise if they're sitting back trying to poke the Immortal, they're going to lose the keep so fast and lose the game no matter what. They got wiped anyways and died. When you I was not exaggerating when I said when the Immortal spawned with full shields, they are going to look to end the game, because full shields means the Immortal does range attacks. A lot of people actually don't know that. I just think the Immortal is the same all the time. Yeah, a lot of people do not know. Trust me, man. You've seen my Hero League games? You would not know. But when it has full shields, you get the maximum amount of ranged attacks. It's tough to break it down, and especially when Lucio's not on your squad.
I know, and they were, and GLuck was actually lacking the range damage. So that's why that's another thing that was really hard. Junkrat, when he got close to the range, there was Li Ming, Hanzo, all the source of damage going into Junkrat. It was really hard. So let's go back to the drafting phase. They banned that Medivh. Was that ever going to come up? I don't think so in this game.
Not on this map.
After looking at this, unless they had a super crazy comp that worked against, that was going to be countered against Medivh specifically, but not this time, and they picked ETC. And I mentioned that easy ban would be Garrosh. He was having a tough time getting against that matchup. He used that power slide before, and then he was tossed in. There was no escape. The Sake's pair-up root came in. He was dead all the time.
Yeah, he really was. The ETC pick didn't do much here, and he was trying to peel for the Immortal, like, alone when 2 were dead. And he was like, well, I'll slow down their race. We'll have a chance to come back. Very much not the case, as you say. Clean slate going to game 2. There's time to kind of refresh the strategies here. They picked BOE. They like